Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speak English Flow. I am Mohin, and today I want to tell you something important, something that every English learner needs to hear. Because today is not just about learning words. Today is about learning how to use them the right way, the polite way, the way that makes people smile instead of walk away. Have you ever said something in English and the other person looked at you strangely, maybe a little uncomfortable? Don't worry, that has happened to all of us. Today, Emma and I are going to show you exactly what not to say and how to say it better. Stay with us. This episode could change everything. Let me ask you something honest. Have you ever walked into a store, tried to speak English, and accidentally sounded rude, even when you were trying to be polite? Maybe you said something like, "Give me that," or "I want this now," and the other person's face changed just a little, but you felt it, that moment of silence, that uncomfortable pause, that small feeling of, "Did I say something wrong?" Yes, you did, but it was not your fault. Nobody taught you the difference, and today, Emma and I are going to fix that together. Remember this always. It is not just what you say, it is how you say it. And today, you are going to learn both.
Hey everyone, I'm Emma. I'm from California and I'm so happy to be here today. Mohin, I have been looking forward to this one all week.
Me too, Emma, honestly. Because this topic, I think every single person watching right now has made at least one of these mistakes. I know I have.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, native speakers make these mistakes too. Sometimes we forget how something sounds to the other person.
That's such a good point. It is not always about knowing the words. It's about the feeling behind the words.
Exactly. Okay, so before we dive in, Mohin, did anything happen recently where you noticed someone being accidentally rude in English? Like, not on purpose, just the wrong phrase?
Actually, yes. Just last week, I was at a coffee shop and the person in front of me walked up to the counter and said very loudly, "I want a coffee, large, black, now."
Oh no.
And the barista just kind of froze. She smiled, but you could see it, that little pause, that tiny moment of, "Wow, okay."
And I'm sure that person had no idea. They probably just wanted coffee.
Exactly. They were not being mean, they were just using the words they knew. But those words, in that order, in that tone, they sounded like a command, not a request.
And that is the whole lesson today, isn't it? Commands versus requests, rude versus polite, not because someone is a bad person, but because nobody showed them the difference.
Right. So today, Emma and I are going to go through real situations. We are going to show you the wrong version first, the rude-sounding one, and then we fix it together.
And it's going to be fun, because some of these wrong versions are actually kind of funny.
They are. Okay, shall we start?
Let's do it.
Okay, situation number 1. You are at a restaurant. The waiter comes to your table and you want to order some water. Here's what some people say, the rude version. "Hey, water, bring me water."
Ooh, yeah, that one hurts a little.
Right? It's very direct, too direct. In English, especially in American and British culture, being that short and direct with a stranger sounds bossy, almost demanding.
It sounds like you're giving an order to a soldier, not asking a person for help.
Exactly. So what should you say instead?
Something like, "Excuse me, could I please get some water?" Or even simpler, "Hi, could I get some water when you get a chance?"
Ooh, I love that one. When you get a chance. That phrase is so polite. It tells the waiter, "I'm not in a rush. I respect your time."
And it makes them want to help you. That's the secret. Polite English doesn't just sound nice, it actually works better.
So let's say it together one more time, nice and slow for everyone watching.
"Excuse me, could I please get some water when you get a chance?"
Beautiful. Try that next time you're at a restaurant. The waiter will smile. I promise.
Guaranteed smile. Okay, Moen, my turn. Situation number 2. This one happens all the time for English learners. You're talking to someone, maybe a teacher, maybe a coworker, and you don't understand what they said. So what do some people say? The wrong version.
Some people say, "What?" Just like that.
Yes, and sometimes people say, huh? Or they just stare blankly, which is also uncomfortable.
What by itself sounds like you are annoyed or not paying attention, even if you are paying attention.
It's such a small word, but the impact is huge. The other person might feel like they said something strange or that you don't care.
So, what is the better way?
There are actually many beautiful ways to ask someone to repeat themselves, politely. Let me give a few. Sorry, could you say that again? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you repeat that, please? I want to make sure I understand. Pardon me? I'm sorry, could you say that a little more slowly?
I love I didn't quite catch that. It sounds so natural, so warm.
It does, and it puts no blame on the other person. You're saying, I had trouble, not you spoke badly.
That is such an important difference. You're taking responsibility for the misunderstanding, even if it was your fault.
And people love that. It shows emotional intelligence. It shows respect.
Write these down, everyone. These phrases are gold. Okay, situation number 3. You walk into a clothing store. You're looking for a specific size. You cannot find it. You see a shop assistant. What do some people say? The wrong version.
I've heard things like, where is the small size? Or even worse, you, come here.
Oh no, you, come here, like calling a dog.
Right, and again, the person saying it probably didn't mean any harm. Maybe in their first language, that's a normal way to speak, but in English, especially to a stranger, it sounds very rude.
So what is the right way?
Start with excuse me, always. That word, excuse me, is like a magic key. It opens every conversation politely.
It is. It says, I see you as a person. I respect your time. I have a small request.
Then you can say something like, excuse me, do you have this shirt in a small? Or, excuse me, I'm looking for a medium. Could you help me find it?
And if they say, let me check in the back for you, what do you say?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Don't just stand there silently.
Yes, close the loop. Finish with gratitude. That makes the whole interaction feel complete and warm.
And honestly, people remember how you made them feel, even strangers. If you're polite, they'll go out of their way to help you.
That is life advice, not just English advice.
True.
All right, let's go to a workplace situation now, because a lot of our viewers are learning English for work, and this one is so important.
Okay. Number 1, you have to practice speaking out loud, not in your head, out loud, because your mouth and your brain are connected. When you speak, your brain releases the words, and your mouth learns the shape of the words. And the next time you try, it's easier.
So even practicing alone at home helps?
Yes, absolutely. But, and this is important, you have to practice the specific situation. If you're nervous about a job interview, you practice a job interview, not just general English.
Okay, practice the specific situation. Got it. What's number 2?
Number 2, you have to start small. You don't go from 0 to 100. Maria doesn't have to speak perfectly in her job interview tomorrow. She starts today. Maybe she says one sentence in English to a stranger at the coffee shop. Just one. Excuse me, can you pass the sugar?
That's so simple.
It is simple, but it works because your brain learns, okay, I spoke English to a stranger. Nothing bad happened. Tomorrow, maybe she speaks 2 sentences to a cashier, then 3 sentences to a coworker. By the time the job interview comes, her brain has already learned dozens of times that speaking English to people is safe.
So it's like building a muscle.
Exactly. Speaking confidence is a muscle, and you build it slowly, 1 rep at a time.
I really like that. Okay, and number 3?
Number 3 is you have to accept that you will make mistakes, and that's okay.
This is the hard one, isn't it?
Yes, because especially for learners, there's this belief that you have to be perfect, that if you make a grammar mistake, people will judge you, that if you use the wrong word, the whole thing is ruined.
But is that true?
No, not at all. Native speakers make mistakes every day. We say and We use the wrong word sometimes. We correct ourselves mid-sentence, and nobody cares, because communication is about meaning, not perfection.
So, if someone is listening to you speak English and you make a small grammar mistake, what are they thinking about?
They're thinking about what you said, not how you said it, unless the mistake is so big they don't understand. But if they understand your meaning, your small mistake is invisible to them.
That's really important. I think a lot of people need to hear that.
I think they do, because the perfection myth is killing so many dreams. People stay silent because they're waiting to be perfect, but perfect never comes. Perfect is not real. Real is messy. Real is mistakes. Real is learning.
Okay, so let's say someone is listening right now and they're thinking, okay, this is great advice, but I'm still scared. What do they do this week?
Okay, I'm going to give you 3 small challenges, and if you do them, I promise you, you will feel less scared. Not 0 scared, but less.
The listeners are going to love this. Go ahead.
Challenge number 1. This week, speak English to 3 strangers. Could be at a shop, could be at a bus stop, could be at a cafe. Just small talk. Hi, how are you? Or beautiful weather today, right? Or do you know what time it is?
3 strangers. Got it. Next.
Challenge number 2, record yourself. Speak about a topic you care about for 2 minutes, just on your phone. You don't share it with anyone, you just listen to yourself, and you'll realize you sound okay. You sound human. You sound like someone learning English, which is actually beautiful.
I like that. Number 3?
Number 3, tell one person about your fear, your real fear, not hiding it. Tell them, I'm scared to speak English in public, and just see what happens. Probably they'll tell you they're scared of something too, and suddenly you're not alone.
That's vulnerable.
It is, but vulnerability is actually strength, because when you stop hiding your fear loses its power.
I have a question. What about anxiety, like actual anxiety? Is this advice the same?
That's a really good question. If someone has actual anxiety or panic attacks, they might need more help. They might need therapy, and that's okay. That's not weakness. That's just getting the right support. But even then, the practice still works, even slower, even gentler, but it still works.
Okay, I appreciate you saying that, because mental health is real.
Absolutely.
Can I tell you a personal story?
Please.
When I first came to America, I was so scared to speak English because my accent is strong, and I was very aware of it. I would be in a grocery store and I would need to ask someone for help, but I wouldn't. I would spend an extra 10 minutes looking for something instead of just asking because I was embarrassed.
What changed?
Smiles. One day, I realized something. I was spending more energy on being embarrassed about my accent than I was spending on actually speaking. So I made a decision. I said, I'm going to speak with my accent, and I'm not going to apologize for it.
And?
And life got easier. Because when you stop fighting yourself, when you stop being embarrassed about who you are, other people, they just accept you too. Your accent becomes invisible because your confidence is louder.
That's exactly right. Confidence is louder than accent.
So if you're listening and you're scared, remember that. Your accent is not your enemy. Your fear is, and you can beat your fear. Emma, before we finish, I want to ask you one more thing. If you could give one piece of advice to someone who's scared to speak English in public, what would it be?
I would say remember why you wanted to learn English in the first place. Was it to get a better job, to travel, to feel more confident, to communicate with more people? Whatever the reason, that reason is more important than your fear. So when you're scared, come back to that reason and let it pull you forward.
Nods. That's beautiful. And I think that's where we should end.
I think so too.
So let's talk about what we learned today. We learned that fear of speaking English in public is normal. It's not a sign that you're weak. It's a sign that your brain is doing its job. Your brain is trying to protect you, but sometimes it protects you too much. And we learned that the way to feel less scared is not to think more, it's to do more. Practice, small steps, speaking to strangers, recording yourself, telling someone about your fear. And most importantly, we learned that mistakes are not the enemy. Mistakes are teachers. Every time you make a mistake and the world doesn't end, you become a little bit braver.
And remember, every person you hear speaking English, whether it's their first language or their fifth, they all started somewhere. They were all scared once, but they kept going.
You can too. Okay, everyone. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell us, what's one small fear you have about speaking English? And what's one thing you're going to try this week to beat that fear?
And if this video helped you, please like it and subscribe to Speak English Flow, because every day we're going to talk about topics that help you feel more confident speaking English.
And if you know someone who's scared to speak English, please share this video with them, because courage is contagious. When one person is brave, it gives other people permission to be brave too.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for joining us today on Speak English Flow. Remember, fear is just a feeling, and feelings can change. So speak English. Speak it badly. Speak it with an accent. Speak it with mistakes, but speak it.
You've got this.
See you next time. Keep flowing.